Hello everyone, my name is Evgenia and I'm ICF certified career coach and mentor. I help professionals with scientific and technical background to build career that empowers them and they got self-realization through that. And I forgot to say that I'm a co-founder of a mentoring program for early career researchers called Sidesteps, and I'm an active volunteer at ICF International Coaching Federation, where I co-lead the project that's called Coaching in Education. And welcome on my YouTube channel. Today we will be discussing one of the most important topics in my coaching career that helped me a lot, and the topic on which I work with, I think, all my clients. And this is the definition and the formulation of long-term career vision. You can also call it long-term career goal. Today, in this video, we will be discussing why is it important, why I find that it's crucial that everyone, let's put everyone, has long-term career vision. We will discuss also the common mistakes and challenges that you could face while formulating long-term career vision alone without a coach or career consultant. And in the end of the video, so stay with us till the very end, I propose you an exercise that we will do together, and you will have the first draft, very raw draft, but still the first draft of your long-term career goal. Let's begin. Why I think this is so important to have a long-term career vision. So first of all, it really helps with the decision making in your professional life, in your also personal life, to be honest. Whenever you have, for example, 2 offers, or you have 10 positions to apply and you have to choose 5 of those only because you're limited in time, obviously, and energy. This is the first thing that, in my opinion, one should consider. Which of this option would bring me closer to my long-term vision? Also, that helps you to choose the projects on your current work. When you know where you're heading, you understand which skills you need to gain, which experience would be the most important for you to take right now so that you can advance on your vision. That has also helped me a lot in my personal life. For example, moving to a different apartment, I can choose apartment based on my requirements, so that I have a white wall, I have a separate room, for example, for my coaching sessions, that I have my privacy and calmness here, with a lot of windows, as you can see. Also, the second point is long-term career vision acts as a beacon, especially in the time of turbulence. And I'm not the first and not the last person who would tell you that we are living in a crazy time. Our life shakes us a lot from, let's say, one profession, another profession, one country to another country. And in all of this, I call it turbulence, having something that, we are heading towards, it is very helpful. It helps you not to spread your attention and, for example, not thinking, oh wow, now I'm in a different country, I don't speak a language, shall I study data science? Shall I do the web design? Shall I do something else? Do I want to take my career completely online, or do I need real contact with people? Having answers on all of these questions would accelerate your achievement of your long-term career vision, and also increase the satisfaction in your job, of course, and your life. And the third point that I also see in, I think, all of my clients with whom we work on the long-term career vision is the following. Not knowing where to go and what is ahead of us brings uncertainty, and uncertainty always brings anxiety. Uncertainty is always connected with anxiety. Try observe yourself what gives you stress, and one of the major reasons would be not knowing what to expect. And formulating long-term vision that you truly believe in, that truly empowers you, and you feel, tickles in yourself when you think about this goal, that really reduces the stress associated with not knowing where to go, because you actually kill this uncertainty. And again, this is quite important in the turbulence time when there's crazy things going, and every time we face unknowns, but at least you can reduce unknowns where you have your, control zone and your influence zone. Let's go next. How to formulate long-term career goal. And we start first with how not to formulate it. And this is, let's say, one of the very common mistake is formulating it using the position and the company name. This is something I never advise for, because formulating it having the position name and the company name gives you kind of a frame of what you're supposed to do and in which company you're supposed to do. But the thing is that getting the specific position, and especially in the specific company, that's not everything out of this lies in your control zone and your influence zone. Actually, that is a good idea. I should make a video about influence zone and the control zone. The idea is that your vision becomes kind of a vector for you where you go, and this is a direction. It is not a frame that blocks you and restricts you of which position you should choose. Not at all. And having a lot of specifics here, and in particular this long-term career vision, actually kills the whole point of it. And here we go into the second mistake, is formulating it using SMART approach. I know everyone is talking about how it is important to formulate goals using SMART, and this is indeed true, especially when we talk about short-term career goal. You can use SMART approach, and this is a great way to formulate it, but not for a long-term career vision. I would not again advise you to do it, because too much specifics would create you a frame rather than be an inspiration for you. And another mistake that I see quite often is formulating the long-term career goal based on your current experience and current knowledge, your current education. Using too much of your rationale, let's put it like this. Saying that I am, let's say, chemist, so I should work in the area of sustainability. I am biologist, so I must develop new, cancer therapy or whatever stuff. So here is not gonna work this way. I did this mistake when I formulated for the first time my own long-term career vision. I did it alone without any coach, so it didn't really bring me too much of the result. And I focused a lot on the position that I just got. So I just accepted the position in a startup as a technical lead, and it was in the area of production of green hydrogen. So I wrote in my long-term career goal that I basically want to scale up this idea, and I would like to work in a large corporation where I can develop my own ideas in the area of sustainability and bring novel sustainable solutions in the big companies that could be realized there. This long-term goal did not resonate with me. I did not understand it at that time. That was not the correct goal. Something was off, I felt it, but I did not dig into this. We'll talk about this later. So obviously this career goal did not work. I just wrote it somewhere and put it in a drawer and forgot about it. Now it's a completely different story. There is another challenge that I would like to discuss here, is the fact that our definition and the formulation of long-term vision lies in our unconscious and unknown. That means that none of the clients, no one came to me saying, Evgenia, I would like to work with you and formulate my long-term career vision. No, people come to me saying, I don't know where to go, I don't know which job to take, I don't know what to do next, I'm lost, or I have too many options where I can work or which education I can take, and I don't know how to choose, I need to narrow down. Or opposite, I actually don't see any options where I can work, and I don't know what I'm able of. So these are the symptoms. You maybe can think, was anything resonating with you in those questions? And those are the symptoms that saying that underlying challenge or underlying problem is that you do not have for yourself clear long-term vision or goal where you're actually heading. And for all of those questions, all of those challenges, my first question I ask to the client is, what is your long-term vision? Where are you going? What do you actually want to achieve in the end? You can also say at the end of your career. How would you like to be recognized? How would you like to be remembered? Another challenge that I would like to talk about here is there is a more optimal time in your career journey when it's better to formulate a long-term career goal. I observe that sometimes when the person or one of my clients need a job really urgently, like for example, their contract finishes in 2 months and they really need to get a job by this time. Otherwise, for example, their working permit in a different country ending, or they don't have any financial support to live on. So by any reason, they really need a job. I observe that this is not the best time to think about long-term vision and where you would like to go, what are your career aspirations. The thing is, this situation of urgency creates a lot of stress, and this is totally normal and this is totally understandable, that urge of having a job creates a lot of stress on a person. And this stress doesn't allow you to think broader and to think about, can say philosophical matters. This is just how our brains work, and we are focused on solving this specific challenge. So how do I suggest to approach those situations? I suggest you to be, first of all, and this is the most important, to be honest with yourself. Understand and allow yourself to be in such vulnerable situation and say that, okay, now I have to find a job in 2 months. I do not have time, I don't have energy and my mental capacity to think about long-term vision and where I want to realize myself in career. I need a job to cover my needs, and I will find any job. It would not be perfect, but I would have covered my basic needs. And after this, I will contact Evgenia and we will discuss with her help about the long-term vision and how can I achieve it. This is one way. Another way, again, you can be honest with yourself and say, okay, this is 2 months. I do not want to find any random job right now. I want to find a job that I'm happy at. I'm okay to spend more time to understand myself and also to find a job that is not, just a random, but that satisfies you. It takes time. I'm okay to take half a year and to work with a career coach, and working with a coach accelerates achieving these results, accelerates your understanding of where you want to go, and also working with a career consultant or mentor accelerates your job search time. For example, if you have some fuck you fund, and I advise everyone to have a fuck you fund. This is the money, this is the amount of fund or on your bank account that is not invested anywhere but just on your account, very readily accessible, usually from 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses, so that you can live up to 6 months without any job and without any additional support. And I advise you, if you don't have it yet, to start saving money for this. And if you have some funds that can cover, let's say, half a year of your life without any job, you can do this, but again, being honest with yourself that I'm using my savings right now. Let's go next, and now how we actually formulate the long-term goal. What if I'm already talked so much about how not to, but how should we do that? Very simple. I advise you to start like this. My long-term goal is an activity in which, so this is not a job title, this is not a company, this is an activity where my values are reflected, my strengths are expressed, I use my past experience, which I find meaningful, I build experience which will be useful for me later, and this activity aligns with my interests, and interests can be changed from time to time. From every 5 years you can change your interest, but your core activity could stay the same. I'll give you an example of it. I perform these activities in the conditions that are right for me. This is also very important because not all your strengths or not all your values can be realized and fulfilled in all of the environment and all of the conditions. So this is also important to understand in which conditions can you thrive. Honestly, each of these points, so there is 5 points, right? Values, strengths, experience, conditions, and interests. Each of these requires its own coaching sessions and deep dive into yourself. What is it for you? In my coaching program, I have 3 sessions, very important sessions, and the first one is understanding your personal professional values. Second session is to understanding your personal strengths and talents. And the third very important session is actually on the long-term career goal, where all the previous sessions serve as a preparation for formulation of the long-term goal. But there is a faster way also to work with me on understanding your long-term career goal is through the strategic session. I also offer 1.5 hour strategic sessions. I use usually metaphorical associative cards. It's a tool from psychology to go directly to the unconscious and stop all the rational explanations of your thinking. And I'm sure you've been thinking quite a lot also maybe on this topic. And the metaphorical cards can assess our unconscious thoughts that's not really in our rationals much faster. And this is one type of the sessions where we can also discuss and formulate your long-term career vision. Let's go next. Now, the most interesting, I invite you to do an exercise with me to formulate your long-term career goal and make the first draft of it very fast, very rapid. We spent 3 months with my clients on this, so of course now it's laser work. And you know what? I invite you to do an experiment right now, and this could be challenging. I invite you to switch off your rational mind and logical mind and thinking for the next, let's say, 15 minutes. This is a challenge, and this is very interesting point that, in my opinion, long-term career vision, it's a combination or balance between the logical part and the emotional and feelings part. I mean that there is, of course, something that you have already in your experience and you should do. And you know what you can do, what you cannot do, and what, directions that kind of you're supposed to go. But also, there is a part that resonates with you. There is a part that brings you joy, motivation, happiness. And this is not always easy to rationalize. Why is it so? And here, formulating long-term vision that doesn't bring you any emotions and you don't have any emotional response from this, that's just not gonna work. This is the mistake I did for my first time. I formulated it, you remember, with the topic of sustainability, and I didn't feel any response. And at that moment, I was not 100% honest with myself. I felt that there was something wrong, but I didn't dig deeper in what is it wrong, why is it wrong, why I don't have any, inner feedback from that formulation. I invite you for these 15 minutes while you would do exercise. Just don't think what you should do, what you must do, which education you have, which experience you have right now. Okay, you have to think about experience, but not in the sense that, I must use my master's degree or I have a PhD in chemical engineering, so that would be stupid not to use it. Let it be stupid for these 15 minutes. Afterwards, you put your logic back in your hand and we will be all set back again to the status quo. But here I would advise you, take it as an experiment. How would it be if you would just put your emotions and feelings first? Let's go. I suggest you to take a piece of paper or the notebook and a pen or pencil and just to write all the answers that comes into your head, again without overthinking them. I suggest you put the video on a pause when I ask the questions, and you just take your time, whatever time you need to write the answers, and then you continue watching the video. Let's go then. Let's start with the values. How can you think about that as what gives you energy? What is important for you? You can also think about a moment in your life where you felt happy. What did bring you happiness? How did you feel it? What means happiness for you? Through which other feelings and emotions can you describe the happiness that you had? How was that? You know, we all feel happiness in a different way, and define what was it for you. Who were there around, and what was there any achievements? Was something else? I don't know, you helped someone. What was there for you? Let's go for the interests. What would you like to learn more about? What would you like to read about, to watch maybe documentaries or some movies? Also, when you talk to someone, which topics spark your interest? If you don't know yet, you can also observe yourself and make it as a task for your next week. When you talk to someone during the coffee break or maybe with your family, what are the topics you would like to talk for forever about? You know, that you really feel passionate and you would like to advocate for. You would like to talk, explain someone, and you feel this inner energy in this. That's yes, I want to do it. Or maybe if you would be to make a blog or make a lecture, what topic would it be? You can also think which tasks at your workplace or at your job would you like to solve? What is the essence of these tasks? What are the results are you given? Is the result as important for you or not? If yes, what does that mean for you? What is it there? Let's go to the strengths. What do you do well? Very simple question. What do you get joy from? When you do something, you feel that, yes, that feels right. I love doing that. And you do it well. This is strengths is a very challenging topic to analyze by yourself. Our strengths or those actions we don't need a lot of energy to spend to perform this action. And the thing is, especially in the post-Soviet countries, whatever is easy for us, it's devalued. When we, work hard enough, suffer enough, then we can put, yes, this is my achievement. This is my, strong side, and I can truly believe in it. But whenever it goes easy and, with kind of considered not enough effort, we devalue it and we say, oh, everyone can do this, everyone can make a great presentation and such an amazing slides, come on, that is easy. Or everyone can everyone can find in Google whatever information that is not readily accessible. So try to think about, is there something that you devalue? Is there something that you think that everyone doing the same way? This could be the sign of your strengths. Let's move to the experience. You can start thinking about it. Also, honestly, be honest with yourself. Which experience from your past you would like to use? It should not be necessarily be your, education and your hard skills. On my example, now I'm doing coaching, and by education, I'm a chemical engineer and I worked in a startup. And being honest on that moment of my life, I do not want to use my chemical knowledge and my experience working manually, with reactors, with the catalysts, or with Svagelok systems. I would like to use the experience on relocation, how I did it, on generally how to approach the PhD, how to find a position, how to deal, with the professors or with your supervisors, how to find a job. So this is all experience around the PhD or my career, but not really my hard skills in this sense, not chemical hard skills, which is also fine for me on that moment of my career life. Which experience would you like to grow? Again, you can think what you're passionate about. If there is a person, maybe in the internet or around you, that you look up for, you maybe envy that person for something. Actually, the enviness, can you say in English enviness? The feeling of envy. The feeling of envy can be very powerful to understand where you would like to go. Just try to analyze what this person has that you don't, and you spend so much energy on analyzing, right, and wanting to have it. You could have it, or you could start having that. Let's move to the working environment. Which conditions do you need to fulfill your values and your strengths? When you think about those moments when you felt happiness, which conditions were there? Why you were able to solve some task in one moment, but not able to solve similar tasks in the other? What are the difference in the conditions? It could be your mindset also. And this is totally all right that sometimes we could realize our talents and strengths, in some moments no. And this is very important to understand what do you need so that your talents can, bloom the best way. Once you have all of this, I hope now you have a list and you wrote something about yourself. Try to put it all together, starting with my long-term career vision is an activity in which. Then formulate what comes to your mind. Which activity can that be? And the important point that this activity for sure can be done in a different jobs, in a different companies, even in a different type of career. Most likely you could do it in a company, in a startup, in a university, in a non-profit organization. You can be self-employed, but still doing, this essence, this core activity the same. For example, in a few years ago, I decided to study personal style and try myself being a stylist in terms of clothes. I love this topic and I really enjoyed it. And I started working with the clients, and it was just friends. Yeah, I did it pro bono. It was very interesting. And I realized at that moment that is very interesting for me to empower people to try new things, to look at themselves differently, and to say, yes, you can wear that. You can wear short skirts. You're great. You look amazing in it. To allow people to make conscious choices about their clothes. And what do you think? Now in the coaching, I'm doing exactly the same. I allow people to look at themselves or at their challenges from a different angle, and I help them to make conscious choices in their career. This is how, you can be on a different way, on a different stage of your life, personal, professional, but quite often those core actions, core activity would be very similar. Now I suggest you to look at what you wrote and reflect. Did you notice something new? Something maybe surprised you about yourself? Something that you didn't think before? Or maybe you didn't allow you to think before, didn't allow to say it out loud? What is it for you there? I would be very happy and curious if you share in the comments what new things you learn about yourself today. What did it bring to you? And I advise you to think about next actionable step. I'm sure that within your personal and professional lives there could be some activities, even right now, that could resemble your long-term career goal. Or this could be some little piece of this that you can do already right now, that you can be step closer to your vision. It could be some volunteering activity where you help people, or maybe you would like to gain more publicity, so you can create your YouTube channel, ta-da, for your publicity and be, one step closer, and also gain this experience of being on public, being on the camera, or experience in helping people. I thank you for watching this video. I hope it was useful for you, and I invite you to subscribe to my Telegram channel, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and please share your thoughts and ideas in the comments. Ciao!